Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Legacy FC middleweight Ike Villanueva. Ike, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Ike, the name of the game is really random. That's where I ask you a random question and you give me the real answer. Some of these questions are custom made just for you, and some of these questions are generic ones that I ask all the people I interview. So, here's the first question. Superpower you'd love to have?
Superpower. Man, incredible hostess.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, man, has to be Southpaw.
Movie you've seen the most times?
Southpaw.
Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite guilty pleasure?
Oh, man, pizza during a weight cut.
By the way, how is the weight cut? Because at one point in time, you were a heavyweight, then you were a light heavyweight, now you're a middleweight. How's the weight cut going, and what's it like making 185?
It's a major life change, though. Everything with the diet, man, it's real drastic. I mean, now with I got a good guy that takes care of all my meal prepping, so everything's going well now. Before I was a big guy, but man, he helped out tremendously, got me down to 185. I feel good. Finally, it's been a while, but I feel great.
When I saw you fight your last fight in Bellator, I didn't even know that was you. Go back a couple of years ago and look at pictures of you. You look like a completely different guy. You look amazing, and you're fighting at a completely different level. Was this always the plan? Was the plan always to go down to a lighter weight class, and it was just a process to get you there, or was this something that just happened right out of the blue?
No, it was a process. Salsa Lisa, we talked about it years back. It just, I had to get the right mindset. To drop this amount of weight, your mind got to be right. I mean, you can have no distractions. If your mind ain't there, you're not going to get down to where we need to be. And eventually, with my great team I have now, man, I came back strong, and I feel so much stronger at this weight division compared to light heavyweight and heavyweight. And it's just been a blessing so far.
You were away from mixed martial arts for 3 years. You fought against Robert Drysdale at Legacy FC 12, which is shocking because you're coming back to Legacy at Legacy 55. So that's, giving us a great idea of how long you've been away from MMA. But anyway, so you fought against Robert Drysdale in July of 2012. You didn't fight again until October of 2015. So I'm just curious, that 3-year gap, what exactly were you doing? Why weren't you active during that period?
Man, I was going through a lot of things in life. I just, lost my father during that time. I wasn't there. My mind, I wasn't 100% committed. Once I stepped away and lost my father, I needed that break to, just clear my mind. I mean, I would think every fighter needs that. But for me, man, I just took the time away and spent time with my family. That was, being gone so long, I missed that. Still had that fire to compete. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I just wasn't ready. I was just waiting. And finally, I got the phone call one time. Said, "Hey, man, can you ready to come back?" And, man, glad I took it. And, man, being with the guys back in the gym, it's really, I feel born again. It's like my second chance. It's good to go this time.
Mm-hmm. During that 3-year period that you were away from the sport, how much training were you doing? Did you step completely away and you were doing nothing, weren't showing up to the gym, weren't training at all? Or were you, I'm going to step away in a way, just not do the fighting, but I'm still going to train, stay in shape, and just in case, if I ever do come back, I'm just not starting from square one again. How much training were you doing in this 3 years off?
Man, none at all. I completely stayed away from the gym. I'll spend more time with my kids, coaching my kids in their sports. I had to do it for me just to get away. I didn't step foot in the gym, man. I may lift weights here and there, but I had to stay away. Then recently, as of 2015, July 1st, 2015 was my first day back in the gym.
Mm-hmm. So those 3 losses that you suffered before taking this break, did they not play any role in you stepping away? Like, I know you said that it was outside the cage stuff that made you decide to take that time period off, but had you been on like a win streak or something, would you have just continued on? Like, how much does that 3-fight losing streak play into you taking time off?
Oh man, that was a big key. They played a lot. I had to think about it. I kind of let my fans down. That wasn't the fighter I was. I mean, I was fighting, but I wasn't prepared like I should have been. And I didn't want to take a fourth fight and risk another loss. So I just, told my coaches, hey, I'm going to step away. Some coaches agreed to it. Some coaches, hey, man, just come back. Man, we'll get another one. For me, I needed that break for myself to find out who I really was. And me being gone, lit a new fire in me. I started seeing all these guys fighting, and I was like, man, these guys can't entertain. These ain't entertaining fighters. And me being a strong Mexican background, man, I'm a crowd pleaser. And man, that first fight back, it was a great experience. I'm glad to be back.
It's interesting that you say that you were reborn, because that's what I was going to say. You look like you're reborn. You look like a completely different fighter from the guy who fought back in 2012. I'm interested in knowing, in this 3-year time period that you took off, how much thought went into your fighting? Like, how much were you thinking about fighting? Were you watching fights? Were you thinking about, like, you know what, if I ever do come back, this is what I'm going to do differently, or I'm going to add this into my game, or what I was doing earlier was not the way, and this is the better way? Like, how much thinking were you doing about fighting?
Oh, all the time. I'm a big UFC fan, big boxing fan. Boxing is my first love. And, man, I always watched it, and always, man, it's like, this is what I want to do. Canelo Alvarez, watching him come up, and that was, he played a big part, just watching him fight. Just the way he sells the crowd, the way he performs, the way he's so aggressive. That's my style, and that's one thing that got me back when I was telling my coaches of the comeback. When I do come back, I'm gonna go back to being the aggressive Ike. Ain't no backing up. I'm gonna be a headhunter, and I'm gonna come forward. And there's no retreat. Just come forward, and that's my style. And then me watching those fights, man, that kind of built that fire in me to come back.
That last fight that you had in Bellator, that was very impressive. Those uppercuts, those were nasty. I was like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is amazing. This guy, he was, the last time I saw you fight for Legacy, and the fight previous to that against Larry Crow, I'm like, is this the same guy? He looks different. You've come back and you've just looked amazing. What about training-wise? Are you still with the same guys that you were training with 3 years ago, or have you changed up everything? You're doing a lot more cross-training. Training-wise, what's that looking like?
Yeah, I went back to my first home, 4 Ounce Fight Club. Went back to training with Larry Crow or Tenius Young, Daniel Pineda, Derek Lewis. I mean, having these guys there every day with me, it's just been a blessing. I mean, we push each other, and man, they kind of, having that much competition in the gym in one day, it's just, man, it's great for us. And it's great for me as a fighter because, man, every day I know, hey, man, I got to come with my game today.
Now, coming up on May 13th, you're going to be fighting at Legacy FC 55. Your last run in Legacy FC was not very good. It did not go according to plan at all. You were finished in your last 2 fights, one against Robert Drysdale at Legacy FC 12, and then at Legacy FC 8, you were knocked out by Larry Crow with a vicious head kick. So the fights that you've had under the Legacy banner in the past were not your best performances. This time around, you're really hot. You're coming in on a 3-fight win streak with 3 first-round knockouts. Are you looking for redemption in this fight? Are you looking to prove to the people who remember you from those previous fights, are you looking to prove them wrong? Do you feel like you have to do something amazing on May 13th?
Oh, yes, sir, most definitely. Like I tell my coach, Barbara Perez, I said, Coach Bob, I said, this is my second chance. This is my chance to prove myself and prove to all those doubters, the people who've seen me at Legacy. I gotta, make a statement, just like I did in Bellator, but I gotta do it on the Legacy stage. The Legacy is a big promotion. I mean, they're right behind the UFC, I believe. Dana White gives Legacy a lot of credit. So for me to get this chance to co-main event live on TV, man, I gotta make a statement. I'm fighting a great guy in Brandon Ferran, a great striker, but I just don't see him strike with me. If I hit you, it's a whole different game plan. So I'm excited, man. I'm pumped, man. I have the visions of what I'm gonna do, and I just can't wait to unleash the hurricane come May 13th.
Obviously, this fight is a very big fight for you. It's going to air on Access TV. And like you mentioned, Dana White and the people over at the UFC, they really watch Legacy very closely. Dana White, I don't know if he's going to be at this event, but in the past, he's been to a lot of Legacy events. He's been in the crowd. He's been there live. So they keep an eye out on all the guys who are fighting for Legacy. So this is a very big opportunity for you, should you go in there and have a great performance, to possibly be the next guy from the Legacy FC roster to make that jump to the UFC. But I'm interested in knowing, because your last fight was under the Bellator MMA banner, would you be interested in doing business again with Bellator? I know you said that you enjoyed fighting for them, but let's face it, everyone in mixed martial arts who fights, their goal is to make it into the UFC. So are you open to anything right now, or are you solely focused on just making it to the UFC? You know, what's the plan going forward should everything go according to plan and you extend your win streak to 4 on May 13th? What's the plan going forward for your career?
Man, the way Bellator is, improving, I was no doubt in my mind, Bellator came back and said, hey, we'd like to offer you a 3-fight deal. I'll gladly take it. I mean, they're making great strides, what they're doing on Spike TV. But, that's everybody's ultimate goal is to make it to the UFC. Mm-hmm. But at my age, I feel that Bellator comes first. Hey, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to say no. I mean, it'll be a privilege to fight for them.
Hobbies outside of fighting?
Hobbies outside of fighting, coaching youth football. Besides
fighting, what are you passionate about?
Man, being a great dad. I mean, spending time with my kids. I mean, there's nothing more than that. Being a father. I got 2 daughters and 2 boys, and man, they keep me on my toes. But being around them it's so awesome. It's an awesome feeling being a father.
What motivates you in life and in fighting?
My father was my greatest. He was my hero. I grew up, looking up to my father. He worked so hard in life and did so much for my family. And just seeing him, what he was able to accomplish after so many people doubted him. And, man, that was just my main hero. And he built that fire in me, never quit, never back down.
Celebrity people say you look like?
Chris Ariola.
Go-to song when you're singing in the shower?
Oh, man, go-to song. Man, that would be it's a new one by Kevin Gates, 2 Phones.
If you could stay one age forever, how old would you stay and why?
Man, I would go back to being 22 years old, man. That's just a young prime age when you're just coming into life, 22.
If you could trade places with anyone in the world for a week, who would you trade places with and why?
Oh, man, that's a tough. Hey, I'd love to be kind of a beggar for a week. I want to spend some time in his shoes, just see what it's like.
Favorite food?
Oh, favorite food, man. My favorite food is pizza. I love some pizza, and that's just my bad. It's my weakness.
Least favorite food?
Man, least favorite food right now is spinach.
Favorite restaurant?
Oh, man, gotta be Buffalo Wild Wings.
Favorite TV show, and it can be a show currently on the air or a show no longer on the air, just overall favorite TV show.
Oh, ESPN Sports Center.
Favorite band and or solo artist?
Favorite band, Los Tigres del Norte.
Do you have any pre-fight rituals or superstitions?
Man, on this win streak, every fight I come out, either they play it or it's on my headphones. It's Jefes de Jefes by Los Tigres del Norte. It's I gotta have it on, and I gotta hear it, and especially I gotta wear my Hayabusa shorts, Hayabusa everything.
Do you have any post-fight rituals?
Oh man, post-fight is making 20-piece hot wings.
Who gave you the nickname Hurricane Ike?
Actually, when my first coach was getting started, his wife came up to me. She goes, you fight kind of wild. We really don't know what you're gonna swing with. You hit, whatever you swing with, you're gonna knock somebody out. It's kind of like a hurricane. And right after that, Hurricane Ike came to Houston probably like 4 months later. So that kind of stuck with me all the way out.
What would you rather be? Would you rather be the best fighter in the world, or would you rather be the highest paid fighter in the world? What means more to you, glory or wealth?
That'd be glory. got a lot of pride being coming from a Mexican background. It gives me the glory.
Are you a full-time fighter, or do you work a second job?
I got my job. I run my family. That's my father passed away. I took over the family business. Well, I'm currently in the oil field. Vocal Machine Works. I run the business, and I fight. And as soon as I get off work, I go into fight mode.
What's the best thing that ever happened to you?
Man, getting a divorce. It sucks to say, you get a divorce, but I finally got rid of the bad distraction. I finally got rid of it, and man, 4 years ago, that was kind of the best decision of my life, a wake-up call. Well, I'm able now, where I've got great kids and a great new girl who, man, Kim, she's my girlfriend. She does a lot, man. She motivates me. So that was making that move 4 years back compared to where I am now. It's been awesome.
So all this took place in the gap between your fighting. Your father passed away. You got divorced. You were on a 3-fight losing streak. All this happened at the same time? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir, man. It's like I say, like being reborn again.
Oh, boy.
And I hit rock bottom, sir. And it's kind of, I needed to hit there to finally realize where I was. And once I hit bottom, there's nowhere to go down. You got only to go back up.
Oh, boy. What a story. What a comeback. This is amazing. This makes it even better than I thought. I thought that you lost 3 fights in a row and were like, you know what, I'm just going to take some time off and do some soul searching and rebuild. But this is completely different than that. I mean, it's a little bit of that, but there's so many different layers to this story beyond just what I had thought. So this is amazing stuff. This is even more impressive what you're doing now than I thought. This is awesome.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's like a Hollywood story.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Ready to give me my 30 for 30. Let me tell my story.
Yeah.
And then there's just so much I can tell you in those 4 years. It's just the way it happened. But I'm glad I stepped away. I'm glad I took the time to find myself, and now I'm back.
What's the worst thing that ever happened to you?
Man, taking that loss and legacy to Larry Crow, that was a big downfall. I had nothing. I was on a 3-fight win streak. I had big things coming to me, and I kind of stepped away that fight camp and didn't fight the fight of a hurricane that I normally fight. I waited too much. I'm the aggressor, and I stay on you. Man, that fight, it can still haunt me today. But I let it go. I let that one go after this comeback. But that one that was my biggest nightmare in fighting.
How many kids do you have, and what are their names, and what are their ages?
Yeah, I got 2 kids. I got Haley and Isaiah, and I got two step-kids, Anthony and Lexi. And Isaiah and Anthony are 11 and 12. And I have Lexi and Haley. Lexi's 5, and Haley's will be 8 in June. And so they keep me real busy.
You have a few tattoos. What are the meanings behind some of these tattoos you have?
Yes, if you look at the Samoan tribal, that's just a Samoan tribal. It's more. I played rugby in high school growing up, so a lot of being Mexican, I always thought it was Samoan. And I had Samoan buddies that kind of it means warrior, it means protection, and what I have on my arm. And if you look at the other one, it's a warrior of God, which is a tribute to my father's passing. Then in the middle of my chest, I have a cross, being real religious, because I have the cross. And I also have my daughter Haley on my chest as well.
Okay. I was wondering who that was.
Yeah. Kind of like a Gerber baby, but that's my daughter Haley.
Yeah. Some people are afraid of spiders. Some people are afraid of heights. Some people are afraid of the dark. What are you afraid of?
Man, I'm afraid of that feeling where I was 3 years ago. That's one place, that's a dark place I don't want to be in. And that's one place, when you hit rock bottom, you don't want to be there. And being able to tell my story now it's great. And that's just one place you don't want to feel. When you lose somebody, you lose a marriage, you don't know what went wrong. You got so many questions, but no answers.
Favorite social media platform?
Oh, man, you tell my girlfriend, she'll tell you, my phone's always blowing up, man. Instagram and Facebook, it's just nonstop.
Piece of technology you can't live without?
Oh, man, my girlfriend say my phone, but, man, I probably, the TV, or relaxation when I do TV, radio or something. Gotta have my music.
Website you visit most often?
TheCron.com. The Houston Chronicle. I'm always on the go, so it's like got to catch up on my news, through the website.
What's your pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve, oh man, a week ago, fight week, when people ask you, how do you feel? Oh man, I'm cutting weight, bro. I mean, I'm dying over here. How do you think I feel?
So how do you feel?
Oh man, bro, the weight cuts suck. As a fighter, I'm ready to fight, but I'm just hungry.
I had to go there. I had to say it. Time period you'd like to go back and visit, and why?
Oh man, time period. Man, back in 1997. Back in 97. 97 was my 8th grade year, but that was a great year just for my family all together. Just how happy we were back then. It's just something that, you always remember that great year. So that's one year I would love to go back to, being around my father again. He was so happy then. So that's just one year I'll always remember and cherish a lot.
Let's say you found a magic lamp, and you rubbed that magic lamp, and a genie appeared, and the genie said he was going to grant you 3 wishes. What would those 3 wishes be?
Oh, man. Give me that Conor McGregor Bentley. Give me one last chance to see my father for 60 seconds. And just give me my shot in the UFC.
What's your porn star name? If you combine your childhood pet with the street you grew up on, what's your porn star name?
It would be my childhood pet. I had a dog named London, and I grew up on Wavenfield, so it'd be London Wavenfield. That was kind of crazy.
What do you worry about? What's something that keeps you up at night?
Man, the family business. Man, just keeping, we've been in business 22 years, and I took over for the past 4 years. And just keeping the doors open. With the oil field having a drought, we've been battling the storm, and man, we're still open. We're still going strong. So I've been blessed, but that's my main worry is the family business. Being able to take care of my family, take care of my mother. That's my biggest worry.
Are you the only one from your family running it, or do you have like a brother or sister or some other family member with you in this business?
Yeah, me, my sister, me and my sister, we both run this business, but as me, I'm the main operations. I do everything, and she's just that backbone, help on the accountant side. But I'm the one that's always on the go doing, make sure all the work's coming in, making sure that she's my backbone to support me, and I'm just very thankful to have her there.
What's your hidden talent?
My hidden talent? Oh, man. I tell you what, I love singing karaoke. I'm a shallow singer, but karaoke, hey, give me a microphone, hey, I can perform.
Best advice you were ever given through life, and best advice you were ever given through fighting, and who gave it to you?
The best advice, man, is coaching the youth, man. Telling these guys, I tell these kids, you want to go somewhere in life, it starts now. And I coach a lot of kids, and I coach 8th graders. So I get them their last year before they go into high school. So I'm the one that's kind of giving their best advice. Your GPA starts your freshman year. You can't go into your senior year thinking you're going to get that grade point average to get that scholarship. Mm-hmm. It starts the first day you step into school. And telling these, I run the Cypress Tigers football organization, so that's what I tell them, my young man. And they, once they step into high school, they make me proud when I get to see them on Friday nights. And that's our best advice. It's just comes from my coach. I've been blessed with a second chance. Make something of it.
Number one thing on your bucket list?
Oh, man, number one, skydiving. I got to go skydiving. It's got to be done.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change and why?
Man, block Donald Trump.
Spoken like a true Mexican.
There you go.
Ike, last question. Let's say you're on death row and about to be executed. What would your last meal be? And I need an entree, a dessert, and a beverage. What would your last meal be?
I need a tomahawk ribeye, and I need the biggest Corona or Dos Tequis you can have. I need a big one. Yeah, tomahawk ribeye with some loaded baked potato. Oh, we'll have to be a cold Dos Tequis. 4 limes.
Ike, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Yeah, man, to all my sponsors, Lee's Paint Body, Faded by Few, Taqueria Laredo, I got Marissa Wheeler, man, TF Entertainment, man, Think Big Productions, everybody who's been supportive with Team Hurricane, and to all my fans, May 13th, be ready. Hurricane Warning is in effect, and the storm will drop May 13th.
Ike, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it, and best of luck coming up on May 13th.
Hey, thank you. Thank you again for the opportunity. It was great. Thanks.